A few years ago, we went through a pandemic, but it lasted around 2.5 years, which is equivalent to 912 days, or 22,000 hours. Let's imagine that you use 8 hours for sleeping, another 8 hours for working or studying. That led you 8 hours a day or free time, or which is equivalent to 7,000 hours. So that's a lot of time. And in this time, I personally use it to escape out of reality, to discover new worlds where there was no pandemic, no isolation, and nothing to worry about. In other words, I start reading. But I want to ask you, what did you do those 700,000 hours? Because a lot of people used to say that they don't like reading. But one time I was in a bookstore and I found a specific saying. It was a phrase that I think it's pretty accurate and that I want to share with you. This phrase said, "Those who claim that they don't like reading, simply they haven't found their book yet." And that's so true. Because it's not that you don't like reading, it's just that you haven't found the correct book. I'm Andrea Godinez. I have read over 300 books in my entire life. And probably you think one of two things. First, wow, impressive. Or, wow, how boring. And neither of those are true. It's not impressive because we have 7,000 hours. And it's not boring. Definitely not. But here are 3 tips for you to start reading, because believe me, you'll like it. First of all, don't start with a heavy book. It seems like the schools really want you to stop reading because they put you so of a difficult books for starting. It's like someone who has never watched a movie and you want them to introduce them from cinema. So you put them an Hungarian movie of 7 hours, black and white, without subtitles. Of course, they won't like it. But instead, you can put them Interstellar, something easygoing, easy to understand, and also a great movie. So if they like this, they will probably start seeing other options. But do not start with a difficult movie. Second, don't read letters. Imagine images. Let's imagine, no, do not imagine, don't imagine a pink elephant with shark fins that is on top of a pirate ship. I'm pretty sure most of you did. But you do not imagine letters. You probably imagine something like this. Or not really, but something similar. It happens the same with books. If you start imagining words, you won't like it. In fact, a neuroscience study of MIT has shown that when you imagine images, a lot of areas of your brain are the same ones as if you're actually seeing an image. This means that your brain doesn't really know the difference between imagining and seeing it. So probably a lot of images that you create, you will feel like you are perceiving it instead of imagining it. So if a book says, imagine a green tree with black leaves, there are apples, but the apples are green. So green that they look poisoned. At the end, you imagine this. You do not read the actual letters. So it's the same with books. When you are reading, stop seeing letters and start seeing images. This will really help you to start reading. Let's be honest. You know how many times I slept reading this book? And no, I'm not rhetorically speaking. I slept over 10 times reading this book. And it's only 400 pages or so. But do you know how many times I slept reading this book? Exactly. Not a single time. Because it has magic in it. So it's pretty different. And last but not least, understand that books are not an obligation. If you start reading really heavy books just for saying, oh, I already read this book, you won't go anywhere. So, first of all, find a book that you like. It's like music. That you don't like a specific genre, it doesn't mean that you don't like music in general. It means that that specific music is not for you. And that's the same with books. Out of all the books I've read, maybe only 8 of them have something scientific or good for studying. And the rest of them? The rest of them are full of stories, of fairies, of dragons, and that's a way of escaping reality. So now I ask you again, do you like reading? Or haven't you just not found your book yet?